Hey guys, it's Eldon here with Knowles Power Equipment. I'm here today with Ken. We are going to be talking a little bit about the 700 series Avants. Avant makes a 735, a 755, and a 760. It can be a little confusing what's different and what's the same. So to start out, we're going to tell you what's the same, and then we're going to go over each machine individually and kind of tell you what's different between the two. So Ken, tell me a little bit what's the same on all three units?
The frame is the same on all three units. The hydraulics are the same on all three units. The height is the same on all three units. The boom extension is 2.5 feet on all three units, and the lift capacity is the same, 3,500 on all of them. So they are very similar, the differences in the motors.
Who would be a good fit for the 735?
The 735 is my favorite machine for the farmer. If he's using it as an all-terrain forklift, if he's handling big squares or big round bales or digging manure, it is a really nice machine for the farmer. The boom extends 2.5 feet, so you can load your big squares or big rounds on a wagon from one side. You don't need to go around it. It's a very economical machine as far as running. It squeezes the fuel really tight, so you don't need to worry about that. Comes in open station or cab. You can get it either way. Open station, cab with heat, or cab with air and heat.
Is there a height difference between the cab and the ROPS?
There's like maybe an inch difference between the two because the roll frame is in there in the cab too. So it's about the same.
Around what height are we looking at?
I think it's 83 inches, yeah. And the hinge pin with the boom extended is right at 10 feet. I'm not afraid of 2-ton up close, and I'm not afraid of a ton fully extended. You can handle a ton with the boom fully extended on the forks. If you hang weight out at 16 inches, 3,500. The way we set them up, they're around 5,200 pounds to go to the field. So the lift to weight ratio is incredible. 3,500 and weighs 5.
So you said the way we set them up. Explain that a little bit.
Rear side weights is standard equipment, 250 pounds on each corner. And then we put suitcase weights on the back. They're 80 pounds each. And then we fill all the tires about 80% with fluid to give you the extra weight.
So Ken, tell me a little bit of the difference between the 735 and a 755, and who would benefit more from a 755?
The 735 has a Kubota mechanical engine. The 755 has a Kohler/Lombardini turboed intercooled computerized engine with 57 horses. So the landscaper that needs to use this to dig out whatever he wants to dig, or if he's pushing stone or doing any kind of pushing, the 755 is a lot better machine than the 735. That just does not have enough power to really dig and push. The 755 will. What
about doing some snow removal? Just cleaning up around the yard, maybe having a few houses in a development?
The extra horsepower would be handy when you're doing snow, especially if you put a blower on the front of it. If you're just pushing, there's not a whole lot of difference in snow because the traction becomes the issue. But if you're running a blower, that extra power is really beneficial on a snowblower. That's basically the only difference between a 755 and a 735 is the engine.
Ken, tell me a little bit about the 760. What's the difference between it and the 755?
The basic difference between the two is that the 760 has a 2-speed. 755 will go 11.5 miles an hour. The 760 will go 18 miles an hour. Where that comes into play, like a farmer would have heifers on one farm and the cows a mile down the road, that becomes a nice issue for him to be able to get there. Snow removal, if somebody is doing a development and has houses that are a little bit apart, the high range is really handy. Has a little bit different drive motor, has a little more torque in low gear, but if you don't know much about it, you won't tell the difference. They're basically the same machine. It's just that little rocker switch that gives you a high speed.
So you said it has a little bigger wheel motors. Does that also then mean it has bigger tires and sits a little higher, or?
The tires are a little wider, but the diameter isn't quite as big as the other one. So yeah, it might sit an inch higher, but between all three machines, there's very little difference in height. And the dump height is the same. So They're very little difference. Now you can put smaller tires on if you need to get in somewhere, but these are set up standard with the tires.
Hey guys, hopefully that explained it a little bit. If you still have questions, feel free to give us a call. We're your local dealer here for sales, service, and parts. Go to our website, knowlespower.com.